Today marks 48 years since the Edmund Fitzgerald sank beneath the waves of Lake Superior, taking with it the lives of all 29 crew members. Also this week, we remember what is called the Great Lakes White Hurricane of 1913. Local 3's Ben Raymond takes a look back at this historic and tragic event and shows us how people and technology work together today in the hopes of preventing a disaster like it from happening again.
So on November 6th, southern moisture started to move north from the south. And at that same time, an Alberta clipper was moving south from the north, and they crashed over Lake Superior here. And then there was two storms to this storm. That was the first one on November 7th, and that's when we lost 3 ships. 2 on Lake Superior and 1 on Lake Michigan.
It was a weather event that spanned 4 days in 1913. It became the deadliest storm on the Great Lakes. It is part of the reason we have the National Weather Service today.
Right. So there was an agency. It was called the Weather Bureau, and it was underneath the USDA at that time. And they would have regional offices and a national office, and they would convey watches, warnings, and weather forecasts to a lot of partner agencies like the Coast Guard and then and ports, and those groups would then hoist up lanterns and flags to denote whether or not there were hazardous conditions like gales or storms to be expected in the next 24 or 48 hours.
Those alerts only worked if the captains and their crews heeded the warnings.
3 ships one was called the Carruthers, one was called the Wexford, and one was called the Hydrus. And they were on Lake Superior that November 7th. And they made it to the locks and down their way down towards Detour. And the Coast Guard started raising their pennants, their storm pennants, and they just kind of sailed right past it because they're like, oh, we already made it through the storm. So what happened on November 8th it's called the Sucker Hole. And the Sucker Hole is a false lull in a storm, where that's when the captains back then started to, have a little bit of pride, and they wanted to get their cargo through. So they would go out, even passing these warning signs. Pride, money was all part of it. And the Wexford, the Carruthers, and the Hydrus, they went into Lake Huron. 8 vessels went down that day in Lake Huron, because what happened was the storm wrapped around the back of these vessels, and came straight from the north down Lake Huron. And there was a point where it was blowing, and this is sustained winds, 60 miles an hour for at least 16 hours.
So the White Hurricane is unique because it's unique because of the impact, certainly. Lots of whiteout, snow conditions in a number of places. It was also widespread, and the storm itself produced widespread storm and hurricane force winds across most of the Great Lakes for a number of days. So it's certainly a unique storm because of its strength and intensity and its wide-reaching impacts. We still have had storms similar to that since that event, and we're always looking for those events as we do our forecasts.
A dozen vessels sank, around 250 lives were lost. Some of them have still not been identified.
But one of the things that happened in Goderich, Ontario, was it was kind of gruesome. On November 10th, I believe, when the storm was subsiding a little bit, but there was a ton of snow out there. The people in Goderich left their church that morning, and they started noticing bodies washed ashore. About 60 of them did. And a lot of them were from the Wexford, the Carruthers, and the Hydrus, the 3 that went through Lake Superior and that decided to go into Lake Huron. Everybody was gone with all hands. So many bodies were washing ashore. They were asking the public to come out if you could find a body.
While shipwrecks have occurred over the last century, the frequency has been reduced thanks to the advent of technology.
So when the White Hurricane happened, there weren't computer models. Like they were using observations that they were gathering from across the country, sparse, to identify what is actually happening. Today, we have satellites with 24/7 coverage that can see through different cloud structures. We have multiple frequencies available on these satellites. And then we have a wide range of radar applications and tools for identifying real-time weather as it's unfolding. We also have a much larger weather network, observations on land as well as airplanes and ships. They send us observations as well so that we can piece the puzzle together in real time. All of that information gets fed to multiple supercomputers in the Washington, D.C. area, and then those computers hold our models. So those models take all those observations, they apply the physics, the atmospheric parameters, and then those project them into the future.
The U.S. Coast Guard Marquette responds to roughly 50 calls a year. Combined with technology, constant training, and vigilance has prepared them to respond to any situation.
So we have what's called an AIS, automatic identification system, that lets us know which boats are out on the water if they have it, which most boats are required to carry AIS on their boats. So alongside with that, we also have what's called Rescue 21, which is our radio system. From our computer, if you're transmitting over the radio, we can triangulate your position using satellites and antennas to better figure out where you are broadcasting from. So we also have what's called a direction finder that we have on our boats in case we're not back at station to use Rescue 21. And the direction finder works in a way that it shows us a bearing to your location, and we'll have you broadcast over the radio long count, which is a slow count to 10 and back down to 0, and that'll give us enough time to figure out your position.
For the National Weather Service and the U.S. Coast Guard, their roles are different, but the goals are the same.
There's a lot of dots that we connect every day when we're doing this. And when we see people being safe, they're practicing safe practices in order to avoid hazardous areas or conditions. That makes us feel good about what we're doing. It verifies and validates our purpose to make sure that we're doing what we can to help others.
Rewarding is definitely saving lives. So it's very challenging day to day whenever we go out on these distress calls. You never know what you're going to stumble upon. It might be a boat on fire, a boat sinking. It's always a dangerous situation for both the boaters and us. But once we figure out how to handle each situation, the rewarding part sets in whenever we get their crew home safely.
In Marquette, Ben Raymond, Local 3 News.